One of the things that's pretty interesting as you spend time talking to people about how they look at information to make decisions and what are the things that are really important is you hear about the power of context. So to give a great example, we're working with an organization to look at comprehensive security assessments and how do they, with limited resources, ensure that they get their security personnel out to the right facilities. So we wanted to develop a way for them to understand across all of their facilities what are the critical factors in ensuring that they were as secure as they could be. And that meant looking at all of the different things that were directly related to security of the facilities, including things like, are your fences in good condition? What kind of fences do you have? Do you have closed circuit TV? Where do you have it? What type of policies do you have for people entering the building? Background checks, security planning, hundreds of questions that could go into this. But all of those different factors, and there are just an enormous amount of them that go into securing a facility, they're all important, and a lot of organizations have very specific standards about it, how they go about doing those sorts of things. But when you started to talk about what was important in terms of getting people on site, that's only part of the picture. Those things that you could easily assess, via checklist and the various assessment processes, they were important, but you needed to look at the contextual data to really understand and do planning for where you were going to prioritize allocating your resources. So for example, to get a complete understanding of facility security in this case, a part of it was understanding that if they were in an area where compared to the national average there was an extraordinarily high number of homicides, violent crimes, assaults, thefts, things like that, well, all of a sudden physical security assessment characteristics take on a whole new meaning. It becomes much more critical to have fences because fences could be the only thing separating you from people that are really scary. So as the organization looks to prioritize where it's going to spend its security resources, the most critical factor wasn't just the assessment itself and, do we have fences? It was, do we have fences because there's something on the other side of that fence that I need to protect myself from. So, and similarly, it's not just about what's on the outside of the fences, but what's on the inside. What are the things that are of value to the organization that are sitting inside that you need to be concerned about with regard to that facility security? So the context is really what drove the resource allocation. So when we started to think about what are the most important things that go into this, it couldn't just be adherence to a standard or policy or how do they perform on assessment. There were a lot of different factors that went in, and obviously that's not limited to just this case. It's anytime you look at these broad portfolios of things, you have to understand not just the characteristics of the things inside that particular portfolio, but the things that surround it to get the understanding you need to really make decisions. So context is always something that you need to be thinking about as you look at any type of informational assessment that you're doing. So, as always, I'm very interested in feedback from everyone else. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.